when somebody is in front of you that you know is just being, it's like, dude, what do you think? I'm an idiot? You know, I don't believe a word you're saying right now.
Mm-hmm.
You still have to be HR. Do you really want to turn it off and be like, look, dude?
I end the meeting.
What's that?
I end the meeting.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
And do they ask, are they kind of surprised by it or?
No, not usually.
No?
And
because they have no idea otherwise.
Yeah, I just say, I think we're done here. You know?
You say it like that?
Yeah.
I think we're done here. You need to stop and leave now.
Well, and it goes to show you that as I get older, you know, I don't care anymore. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to waste my time doing anything.
Right.
And if I'm going to waste my time, I want it to be for some good, you know?
This is the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, a podcast about Middle Tennessee business owners and professionals.
That's right.
Mostly.
You know, I got to say, just talked to Mr. Matt Wilson this morning, the guy whose voice you just heard. He's got a new podcast out. You know, we're going to talk about really positive things about business and have meandering real conversation about business. But first, I got to tell you about his new podcast called Mostly Grief, which basically talks about death and, you know, how people process it. So, you know, I think you should go check that podcast out. He actually does a really good job of it. He and I kind of like make fun of each other because I borrowed the Mostly moniker from him. He had a podcast called Mostly Marketing with Matt Wilson, but now he's got something called Mostly Grief that's actually really, it's apparently making a really big splash with people who need to process grief, and, you know, because his wife died back in 2022. So, hey, welcome to the show.
Mostly grief.
Ashley Pack.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank
you. Look at that. That rhymed.
I love to have it back. I love to be back. Backpack.
So the last time you were here, we were talking about Heartland.
Yes.
And all the different things going on in your life. Of course, again, my name is Jim McCarthy with the Mostly Middle Tennessee Business Podcast, powered by the Christian Brothers Automotive of Spring Hill, retail place to get your car fixed.
That's great.
Go see my friend Jason Miller over there. It's actually the studio. It's powered by Muletown Bikes. I got to ask, have you done the e-bike thing yet, or you make fun of people who do it? Do you have e-biker gangs in your neighborhood?
We don't live in a neighborhood, so we don't have e-bikes.
You live in some sort of a neighborhood.
No, I don't.
Your kids' e-bikes are like, you know, probably side-by-sides and ATVs and horses and cows and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Side-by-sides, four-wheelers.
Yeah.
Horses, yeah.
It's like the country boy's dream.
No.
We were just talking about even like bringing kids up these days, and you said something interesting. We bring it up like they're living in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, I prefer to do that. I don't know. I guess I'd take the same approach that my parents did.
Yeah, but did you grow up in the 80s? You're younger than I am.
I'm an 83 kid. So.
83, yeah. So you're early 40s.
Yeah.
What you remember of the 80s didn't probably sink in for you until 87, 88.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're really a 90s kid.
Well, my dad was an old soul, so I think he raised us more like in the 60s, but that's okay.
Ah, really? Well, which isn't much different than the 80s, I think.
No, I don't think so.
No? Yeah. I mean, you look at the Wonder Years, when that show came out, which was kind of like a snapshot of how things were done back then.
Yeah.
Not much of a difference from how I was raised.
No.
You know?
It was, I love the Wonder Years. I thought that was a good show.
I actually had somebody on recently, Kathy Cardenas. She's got, she's a publicist. Has a lot of really cool people on her roster. Danica McKellar being one of them.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're working on her to get on some podcasts we produce.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
And a lot of people's childhood crush right there.
I know.
You ever watch Impractical Jokers?
I did. Yeah.
You ever see the one where Murr his punishment was to be, they like greased up his body and made him get into Speedos and thinking that he was going to be partaking in a bodybuilding contest. But in actuality, they made him like in this, like, in a hotel conference room kind of thing. And he's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got to do this in front of all these people and pose and all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then he gets led to a room and the door slams shut behind him. And it's only him and Danica McKellar sitting in the room.
Oh, that's funny.
Who it's like his childhood crush.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Oh gosh, and it's hilarious. And she completely plays like she's absolutely disgusted looking at it. It's awesome.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Look it up.
We've seen several of those. There was a point in time where Jonathan wanted to watch that every night. So,
dude,
yeah,
it's hilarious. What a concept.
It was funny.
And it so works with at least with the four of them, at one point in time with Joe now not being a part of it. But still now that with the three of them doing it, they've come out with a bunch of new episodes and seasons. They're even better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're funnier.
Okay. Well, we'll start watching it again.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Always good to have you.
Yeah.
We kind of hang together every Wednesday morning.
I know.
Fire off sound effects at the old BNI meeting. And those of you listening, if you haven't heard of BNI, the Wilco chapter, reach out to either one of us to be a guest. You certainly can. Ashley's information will be in the description as always. But basically, if you want to come and talk about your business and mingle with people and network, it's a great group to do it with. Mm-hmm. We do things very differently.
Yes, very. It's entertaining, keeps you alive.
Keeps you on your toes.
People stay awake, which is good.
We try to keep them awake.
Yeah. So
tell me what's new. Tell me about the new venture that you're going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Introduce that for us.
Yeah. So, back about 8 months ago, I met, this great entrepreneur. He was I call him a serial entrepreneur. He owns several different businesses. Mm-hmm. And he liked what I had to say about staffing and recruiting. Mm-hmm. And so we just kept meeting and having conversations, and we got together and kind of started this, which is really he owns 4 Point Business, mm-hmm. and I own 4 Point People. Mm-hmm. And we try to help businesses along their way with business management, different tools. So he does bookkeeping and IT services and consulting, those types of things. And then I do the HR side, which is the recruiting, the staffing, and the HR.
Excuse me.
That was a good burp.
It came out of nowhere. Your background primarily is in that arena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did it all begin? I mean, was it by accident? Was it a dream job? Was it something you've always wanted to do?
No, I started as a teacher. I've told you this before.
But I don't remember these things. Come on.
Yeah, so I was a teacher. Then after I taught for a year at metro schools, then I realized I don't want to do this at all. And so then I moved to transportation, which was totally different. I was an administrative assistant for the director there, and then she started moving me up in different scenarios and kind of almost trying to figure out what I was really good at, and she was the best boss I had at the time. And she was like, "You're really good at reading people." And so she had me start recruiting bus drivers. And I started running basically the entire office there at transportation, and just keeping up with everything that a bus driver has to keep up with. And so then after that, I did sales for a while. And so that was nice to be able
with Heartland?
Well, that was with Aflac and then Heartland.
Right.
And that taught me how to basically get in front of a business owner and kind of help them along the way when it came with HR.
Why Aflac? Why did you go there? You could have sold anything.
I could have.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't have any sales experience. So it was hard for me to get into that field and just sell whatever.
Really?
And so I
what other fields did you try for?
I applied for everything.
Really?
And they
selling
were
cars?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. They were the first ones to call me back, and I was ready to get out of transportation because I was driving from College Grove every day all the way to downtown.
Right.
And my husband at the time was like, do whatever you want to do. Yeah. So that's what I did. I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go sell something. And I joined Aflac at the very beginning of the pandemic.
But hold on a minute. We talked about what other areas did you apply to? I'm curious about this.
I applied for assistant jobs places. I was applying for office managers, different places. I was applying for sales roles at car places, at furniture stores, at, whatever I could think of.
Yeah.
I was applying.
Did you think of real estate maybe at some point, being a realtor? When was this, by the way?
This was 2020.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you going into, like, as I've come to know you with Heartland, it's fairly recent.
Mm-hmm.
So 2020, you're looking into, car dealerships, I guess, were having a pretty hard time as it was at that point.
Yeah.
So that explains that.
Yeah.
Because, I can't imagine any general manager not just scooping you up and putting you on the floor.
Yeah. It was definitely weird.
It wouldn't have been a good time for you to get into that business.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and I do have to say, I grew a ton from Aflac. Aflac taught me a lot of
any sales
experience.
Position will.
Yes, yeah. It was what I needed at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for all the relationships that I made during that time too as well. They're still great referral partners of mine. I still connect with them. And
their training's got to be good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how do they go about, like, your initial set of prospects? You just, here's a list, go call them?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
I was making 200 phone calls a day.
Oh my gosh.
And it was because, it was the pandemic too, so everything was closed. So we were making phone calls all day long.
Was that normal for 200 phone calls a day to, even if it wasn't a pandemic?
No. Yeah, that was not normal.
Okay.
Like, they were out and about, usually pulling doors and meeting people in public.
Right.
And, we ended up making all those calls, and it was
brutal. You make that many calls. How long did you make calls like that? How many weeks? How many months?
I did that probably for about 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's a grind.
Mm-hmm.
What was you memorized what you said. What did you say?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember it now.
Really?
I love it when you say that.
You don't remember what you said?
Well, at the time we were promoting the Get Hired product. So basically, are you looking for the right people for your business?
Mm-hmm.
If you implement this product, we'll give it to you at no cost with adding the supplemental benefits to your business.
So a nice little carrot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was kind of nice. And a lot of people liked that Get Hired product because they were able to, post jobs and get new people through.
How did you broach it with people? You get them on the phone. What do you say? Because that's like one of the toughest things that a lot of people, when they're making cold calls,
mm-hmm.
How do you warm that person up and get past you're wasting my time. Why did I take this call? How do I get out of this?
Well, I've been cussed out before, but
I bet you do. Yeah.
I was always I was looking for I was aiming towards businesses that were near me a lot of times. And so a lot of times I would find just somewhere where we connected somehow.
Right.
So during the pandemic, everybody was up for talking on the phone because they were sitting at the house bored.
True.
So when I was calling them, it was all business owners, and I would basically say, hey, I know so-and-so, do you know them? And kind of make a connection there and just say, hey, I know we're all sitting at home right now, but this is what I'm doing. And if you could help me out in any kind of way by having a meeting with me and learning more about what I'm doing, then I would be happy, to go forward.
So you basically went with a candor approach,
mm-hmm.
but also made it about you.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
You could really help me.
Yeah.
Let's forget about helping you right now. I need this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I took all sorts of different approaches. I tried, 1 week I tried one thing, and then the next week I would try another, and and I usually got meetings out of it. So
because you're just being honest.
Yeah.
It's like when I had to make phone calls and cold calls, I would just be like, look, this is a cold call. I don't like making them. You don't like getting them. Can we just agree on that?
Yeah.
And it would just be like, you know what? And it's even in the car business, we didn't make necessarily cold calls. A lot of the leads were inbound.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'd get an internet lead and want to, you're the person with the phone number, and instantly you were trained to call them, and you'd reach back out, and sometimes they'd pick up, sometimes they wouldn't. And one of the light bulb moment for me was when I had a conversation with a guy where we talked about everything but the car.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes, for like 15 minutes. And at the end of it, I was like, well, dude, I loved getting to know you. I said, you did inquire about a car. Is there anything else you need to know about it? And he's like, I'm just shopping around. I said, I get that. Of course, I want to make sure that if we can make a deal on something. I mean, you want to come by and drive it? You know, check it out. And so I don't know if he ever actually did, but I can't remember.
It would have been cool if you had the rest of that story. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the whole nonchalant, casual aspect.
Yeah.
When you don't come off as polished, goes a long way.
It really does.
It really does.
Because people don't want to hear some AI robot on the phone. They want to get a real person.
Yeah.
And so, and that's what I was trying my best to do. So, yeah, it was fun. And I highly suggest everybody do cold calling in their life because there's nothing like it. And it definitely makes you a better person.
Yeah. Well, I think a hardened skinned person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What were some of the what was the worst one that you remember?
There was this one guy, I think he owned a plumbing company. And I called him and he let me have it. I'm sick of you calling me, like all of you people, you just wear me out on the freaking phone. And he used GD and all sorts of other things. And I said, sir, I am just doing my job. That's it. Yeah. And if you don't want me to call you anymore, I'll put you on the no call list.
But the funny thing is that, again, this is like Impractical Jokers relevant. You know how sometimes where like the cold call is awkward up until a point where you get to that point where you feel like you have nothing left to lose. And Q does this a lot on that show where it's like, oh, we need you. They're laughing and they set him up to say something completely awkward. You can see the look on his face. Oh gosh, I can't remember. And he might upset somebody, but as soon as they start pushing back, he digs in and he doubles down. Yeah. What do you mean you're upset about that? That kind of a reaction. Like in that guy's case, be like, dude, I get it, man.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I'd be pissed off too.
Yeah.
But is everything all right? I mean, this can't be about me. You're sick of everybody calling you and stuff like that. I said, but they probably see something of value that you may need. I mean, how is business anyway?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that guy, the plumbing guy, after I told him that, he was like, I'm sorry, you sound really sweet on the phone.
That's great.
And I was like, well, I am really sweet. Do you want to have a meeting? And he was like, well, not today, but if you call me back next week, I may. And so I ended up calling him back and he ended up having a meeting with me.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You still talk to him today?
No.
Oh, dude, you should reach out to him.
I know, I should.
Hey, remember me when you got pissed off at me on the phone?
I know.
I got another favor to ask of you.
Yeah.
I got something that I need to sell you and I want to get on board. Dude, I'll call him.
Yeah, I know.
Give me the lead.
Okay.
We should do that live on this podcast.
I know we should.
Okay, you have no idea who I am. You got really mad at a friend of mine a couple of years ago. Her name is Ashley Pack and she's sitting here with me. You mind if you talk to us?
Yeah. That would be awesome. I would love that. We should. We need to do that.
I can do it. I mean,
Yeah.
Maybe we should. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
It'd be fun.
So I love that because I had no idea about that with you.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurial beginnings. Did you have those growing up?
So my dad was a home builder. And so he built homes everywhere. And I think that I just watched him growing up kind of see what everything was going on and, watching my mom doing QuickBooks and payroll and everything like that. So I was kind of drawn to it in some sort of way. And when I started selling for Heartland, I mainly did that because I had such a big payroll background because when I was at transportation, I actually, helped with that side of the house. And so, I worked for Heartland for quite a while and was like, okay, you're 40 now. You have to figure something out, like this. You can't do sales forever. I mean, yeah, I could, but I mean, is that really my passion? Is that what I want to do? Right. And it wasn't. And so, I really dug deep and was thinking every night, praying every night, thinking, what could I possibly do? And this was always in the back of my mind, opening up my own thing where I can do whatever I want and, really help people in a way that they need to be helped versus forcing the sales on them, And so now, I get referrals all over the place for people that are looking for specific people. And I have a niche in that area and I created a software to pull those people in. And that's, been the best thing that I've ever done.
Well, to walk me through that was the 4 Point People. You said it was a derivative of another company.
So 4 Point Business.
Yeah.
So 4 Point Business was started by Justice, and he, when I was meeting with him, he could see that I had a passion about something else.
Right.
And so, and since he's in so many other businesses, got his hand in, doing all sorts of different things, I think that he saw that in me, that he just wanted to be a part of it. And so, and that's been, what has taken us off.
It's funny because you look back at business names, 4 Point People, it's a good business name. It's got an alliteration to it.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm thinking, I'm like, well, you got to explain what that means. Why did you name it that? And now I have clarity as to where that name came from. And I think a lot of his originations, 4 Point has a meaning to his business in that arena. But it's like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, if I had to rename a business, what would I call it? People Packer.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be good.
Because that's what you're doing. Your last name's Pack.
Yeah. I don't know if Packer is appropriate, but
yeah, it might be a little.
It is funny though.
It is funny.
It's catchy.
We pack people.
I know.
Packpeople.com. Is that like, is it a camping website? Or
terrible. I know.
A website for hobos?
Yeah, they'd probably be like, what is this? Where are you calling me from? But yeah.
You're obviously in your element doing this. You love doing it. I've seen a big change in you. Tell me about what is the biggest problem that you're solving?
I think that a lot of people these days are getting frustrated with Indeed and all the different job boards because they're not always, and then some people also don't have enough of a background or an HR background to be able to hire the right people. So when they're interviewing them, they're thinking, oh, I really like them, but are they the perfect fit for the job? So when I'm sitting down with a business owner, I'm asking them these specific questions in order for them to get the right person. And sometimes it helps to have a third party person come in and interview those people for you so that you do get the right fit of somebody that's asking the right questions at the right time. And so, and a lot of times that just helps.
Because to a lot of business owners, and we're doing this with David Crabtree, another compadre or compatriot of ours, and B&I, he handles a lot of employee benefits and things of that nature.
He's the guy.
He's amazing. We use him here at J2. And for anybody who's in a business listening that wants somebody that kind of intervenes with the employee benefits side, it's really nice to have a David you could refer your employees to, because the last thing as a business owner you want to learn about is getting in the weeds of employee benefits.
Yeah, you don't need to know about any of that.
You're similar in that way.
Yeah, let David do that.
Right.
Let me do your hiring.
Right.
And then take it from there.
But when you're doing the hiring, you're doing it, you're getting so many at-bats and experience asking the right questions. Like you said, reading people. I can only imagine the kind of conversations you have.
Oh, yeah.
With some of these people.
Some people go into an interview not realizing that they don't have the ability to do the job. And so you have to
fake it till they make it.
Yeah.
Really?
So you have to really kind of explain to them, hey, we're looking for people that, are, really good at this job. Right. We need at least 3 to 4 years experience in this job.
Right.
To do it in a good way without us having to do a bunch of training on the back end. So it's always good to have the right questions in place, really get to know the interviewee. I like to do an initial phone call first, ask a few questions on the phone, then invite them to come in person, because you don't know anybody until you know them in person.
Right.
And so that's very influential in what I'm doing.
And you're measuring everything at that point. You're basically an attorney.
Yes.
You're cross-examining them.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if they're good or bad.
Well, you're basically, how do I crack the veneer that everybody comes to the table with when they're applying for a job? And it's funny to me because my wife and I have been having a lot of conversations about her job now. She works at Publix. She's really loving it. Yep. Publix is a great company.
Yeah.
But, knowing what I know about management and leadership and being in practice in it for the past decade now, if I had to go work for somebody again, I understand the interview to be a two-sided conversation.
Yeah.
I know what I bring to the table. I'm not going to try and hide anything. You're going to get the authentic me.
Yeah.
And it's a sales conversation, really. Somebody's doing the selling, someone's being sold.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that because there's a lot of trepidation, fear, desperation maybe kind of plays into it. I need this job. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, the outcome can be not so savory.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. A lot of people come in very nervous.
Of course.
And so I try my best to try to make them feel at home.
You don't want to make them more nervous and shake them up a bit?
No, because I really want to get the goodness out of them, Jim.
Well, I mean, but if you shake them up a bit, I mean, you see who they are.
Well,
their true colors come through.
Are
you nervous?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. Oh, good. You should be.
Yeah. I think the real thing is
a little Catholic guilt goes a long way.
I grew up Catholic, so that's why.
You grew up Catholic down here?
I did.
What?
I went to Father Ryan.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Maybe you told me that. I forgot.
I went to St. Edward's and Father Ryan.
That would have stuck out to me for some reason, I think.
Yeah.
You grew up Catholic, really?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so odd.
I really enjoyed it, actually. I mean, it was a good. It was a good.
Everyone needs a good browbeating every now and then.
Yeah.
Kneel, stand up, sit down. Kneel, stand up, sit down. Right. Yeah. I mean, because it's so pervasive.
It keeps you active.
It's like a workout.
Yeah.
You're getting your squats.
You need to do that.
It's so pervasive where I grew up in the Northeast. Mm-hmm. It's everywhere's a freaking Catholic church.
Yeah,
it is. We got one right across the street here down here.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was fun. I loved it.
Because you're Southern, man. I mean, you got the twang. And you think Baptist.
Well, I'm originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. You know that. Even
better. Well, I guess Shreveport makes sense because there's a lot more Catholicism down there too.
Mm-hmm, there is. Yeah.
Whatever you want to film, wherever you want to film it, we can film your show from just about anywhere. Want to film a special episode of your podcast in a new location? We can do that for you. How about creating your short form video content at home or in your office? We can do that for you. Whatever you want to film, wherever you want to film it, it's your show. We just produce it for you.
I try to bring my, my Louisianian out every now and then, as a lot of people like to call me, as a coon-ass. My dad was so I am a coon-ass, and I do make etouffee and jambalaya and gumbo at home. So
I am like enamored with that part. I really want to explore Louisiana one day.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
It really is a fun state.
Baton Rouge is where I spend a majority of my time because of the Dream Motor Group. They have a dealership down there, Mercedes-Benz in Baton Rouge. But they're, every time I go down there, I purposely go across the Lake Pontchartrain Bridge into downtown New Orleans. But I've never had the opportunity to explore downtown New Orleans.
You should go on a tour down there.
I'd love to. Courtney and I would both love to do that. It's just, time and money and all that fun stuff.
I did one of those family tree things, and I found out that some of my relatives are actually in that cemetery next to that church that's in the square down there.
Did you find anything utterly surprising? Did you do like Ancestry.com or something?
No, I didn't do that. But my dad actually got his saliva done through them or whatever.
Right.
And then I was able to put a bunch of pieces together for my dad and my mom, and then go really far back into like 1500s.
Oh, wow.
And so, it
European descent?
Some. Yeah. And then we also have some, you'll find this interesting. We have some African descent too as well. And we have a lot of like Scandinavian too, which was very weird. Yeah. And then Moroccan.
I can see that as well.
So I'm a good mixture of a bunch of things, which is why, I guess.
I found out I'm 42% Jewish.
Ooh, that's cool. I love that for you.
I had no idea, But now I think about my mother, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I love that.
So you get somebody in front of you. You deploy the Catholic guilt.
Yes.
Okay. Good. Continue.
Yeah. And so I think not really making them feel guilty at all.
Right.
I mean,
But you should.
I start the conversation as, what do you do? Tell me a little bit more about you.
Yeah. What gives you the right?
Yeah. And then I do like to also tell people that I have a whole slew of questions for all different sorts of job descriptions whatsoever. And sometimes my questions can be a little bit over the top. And so sometimes the interviewee, I can really tell if they're not a good fit for that role because
you get a feeling.
Yeah. And so because of the way that they answer it. Yeah. And so, but the good thing, you want to interrupt?
No, I just had a thought that popped into my head. Pause for a second. When somebody answers a question, what are you looking for? Would you appreciate somebody who will pause and think about the question and then give you an answer, or somebody who is struggling to answer it in any way possible? You pick up on that. I know.
Yeah.
But what's like the best way, especially if you ask a really out of left field, poignant question, profound, if you will. I take this kind of cue from my business partner he just met again, John.
Yeah.
He does this a lot. You'll ask him like an out of left field question. He'll literally just kind of pause and go.
And he thinks about it.
He thinks about it, purposely.
Yeah.
Does that hurt or hinder, or is it
It doesn't. No, I think it helps.
Yeah.
I think it's better and I think that a lot of people these days are just free-for-alling it. So they're coming to the interview completely unprepared.
Right.
And so that's another thing that I like to help with is people that do come to me, I tell them, okay, if you're going to apply for these jobs, this is the way that you need to prepare for it. And so I think that that's very important for a lot of people that maybe don't have significant experience in the role that they're applying for, but also maybe they are a good fit because they have the right personality and the right drive.
Right.
And so I think that that's important.
You could almost do an entire podcast series on this.
I could.
Probably should talk about that. Not because, I want to sell more podcasts. Of course I do. But
yeah,
it's like my brain works that way. I formulate ideas. Like there's probably a whole, like a 9-part series you could plan out that people could watch or listen to.
And listen to it, yeah.
Limited run.
Yeah. Well, so also when I'm interviewing them, I'm making sure that if they're looking in my eyes or if they're switching positions in their seat or if they're, there's just all sorts of different scenarios that I could think of all day long. But I am reading them to the point of, are they going to be a good fit for this owner that I would like to place in that position? But I'm also interviewing them also for other things. Right. So I have other jobs available for them all over the board. And so if I see that maybe they're not a good fit for this one that they applied for, then I'll place them in another one that I do have available.
Right.
And so this morning I was calling for framers. So I have a whole day full of interviews on Monday for framers. But there were a couple in there that had a lot of concrete experience. And so I asked them on the phone. I said, you have a lot of concrete, experience. Like, are you interested in another job, maybe in that field? Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm constantly telling them on the phone, hey, I'll interview you for both,
Dude, my dad joke radar comes out with that stuff. Concrete experience.
I know.
It's really solid.
Yeah. It's really solid experience.
Are you finding it hard?
Yeah.
To find another opportunity for yourself?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I think that your concrete experience really rocks.
I have to say, concrete guys are the best. That's where.
That's interesting.
It all starts. So.
Concrete guys are the best. Why? Explain. What does that mean?
They're fun. They're fun to interview.
Really?
I just have to say that.
Because because
they're very serious. They're very sure of themselves and they just want to work.
Yeah.
And so,
because a lot of it's just, for the business owner, solve the problem, show up on time, don't make me look bad, get the job done right.
yes. Yeah.
Which is what we all want.
Yeah.
When it comes to employees. For you, it's a lot of it. Your reputation is riding with the business owner, and you want to send the right people, product, if you will, to them. And, at the end of the day, the person that you're bringing to them, don't make me look like an idiot.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Is there anything idiotic you've done in your past that I need to know about?
I know. I do ask that question. I ask it in a nicer way, though. But
what's wrong with just saying, look, we all do idiotic things, let's just level with each other. What's something I got to, as your representative, it's almost like having an attorney or an agent, if you will. You're like an agent, like a talent agent. What do I have to worry about? What's going to, bite me in the butt that may pop up down the road that the, opposing counsel may discover that you didn't tell me?
Yeah.
That's got to be a part of it.
Oh yeah. I ask it every time. But I ask it in an HR specific way. So I always.
So you soften the language. You use euphemisms, as it were.
And I cuss like a sailor.
I know.
So
I've seen you when you had a couple of drinks in you.
So I have this role that I play with my referral partners and everybody that I know. Everybody that knows me knows the real Ashley. But then I have to turn that HR person on when I'm meeting with people because it's important for me to be,
Does it kind of fade down as you get to know them?
No.
You turn the HR character on.
Yeah.
And there's no dialing the switch down or, does it go to an 11 or?
I try not to. Yeah. I want them to realize that what they're going to apply for is serious. Right. They're trying to get a job. It is a very serious situation because I want them to be the best that they can be for them. And if they're not going to do that, then I'll be able to see it.
Yeah. I'd be like, I apparently, for some reason, one of the people that works with us here, her name is Graydon, she thinks I'm in the mafia.
You are.
Do I have that energy about me? That's completely not true. I'm not in the mafia.
No.
I have no relation. My last name's McCarthy, for crying out loud.
Yeah. It's your presence, your build and your presence and the way that you talk, I think, a little bit, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
I think as I've gotten older, my filters have come down.
Okay.
And I really just, my give a damn has truly been busted.
Yeah, mine is too. I think that.
But I think as you get older, you have yet to, it's going to become more busted for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Because right now I'm that way at home.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I've had enough for today, let me relax kind of thing.
When somebody is in front of you that is just being, it's like, dude, what do you think? I'm an idiot. I don't believe a word you're saying right now. You still have to be HR. Do you really want to turn it off and be like, look, dude,
I end the meeting.
What's that?
I end the meeting.
Oh, really? And do they ask, are they kind of surprised by it or?
No, not usually.
No.
And
because they have no idea otherwise.
Yeah. I just say, I think we're done here.
Do you say it like that?
Yeah.
I think we're done here. You need to stop and leave now.
Well, and it goes to show you that as I get older, I don't care anymore. Yeah. I don't want to waste my time doing anything.
Right.
And if I'm going to waste my time, I want it to be for some good,
Right.
Right. And so if they're sitting there and they have no clue what they're talking about, they applied for the wrong position completely. And they don't want my help. They are there just to be a show off kind of thing.
I was going to ask you offer like, hey, here's just some feedback, constructive criticism.
Oh yeah.
If you come back to me or whoever else, keep these things in mind.
Yeah. I always offer feedback if it's asked.
Right.
If they don't ask for it, then no.
Well, that's another thing. If they do ask for it, I think that's a good thing.
Yes.
Hey, how did I do?
It is.
Yeah.
And I have probably about 50% of the people that I interview will ask how they did.
Right.
Or how they could do better. And then I'd give them suggestions on how to do better.
If you had somebody interviewing with a business owner directly, or maybe even you,
Mm-hmm.
and they're asking questions about the opportunity, what are some of the right questions they need to be asking?
I always give these away, usually, is what I do. You always want to ask what the environment is at the job. Also ask how, if you're interviewing with the owner, which typically with my interviews, they do the first couple with me and then they meet the owner at the very last one. But if they are interviewing with the owner, it's always best to ask the owner, how do you best deal with conflict? And so there's always these questions that I'm constantly giving people over time that I think that are very beneficial for them to ask. But yeah, we could do a whole podcast on a whole list of them. But
yeah, this is becoming a much better idea.
Yes.
A whole series on how to become a better applicant.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The reason why I asked that is because, again, give a damn being somewhat busted, having, management, leadership, ownership experience for the past decade. If I had to be put in a situation where I was working for somebody else again, my worldview and the lens through which I look at it has changed drastically. I look at it like a sale. A sales conversation. Look, what is it you're trying to achieve? If I come on board, what are the expectations? What is the problem I'm solving for you?
Yeah.
And are the expectations realistic? And that was from experience. When I got out of radio, I had a detour before I got into the car business, into the collision industry with a local pseudo empire here. And one of the things I forgot to ask on the front end was, well, what are your expectations? What's your KPIs? How do you measure them? What's, in the first 3 months, what are you looking for results wise? 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Never asked any of those questions. And within 3 months I was gone.
Yeah.
But he was one of these guys who was fire happy. I joke, but I'm there might be some fact to this, but I joke when I say, that he fired like 7 people in my first week there.
Yeah.
And the whole culture was ruled by intimidation and fear. He was trying to change himself as a CEO, because only he can do that. And then the culture reflects who he is. But, when we took the job, it was for the money we wanted, everything lined up. Yeah. Almost too easily. And you find out why really quickly because, oh, okay.
So I think when I sit down with a business owner, I am asking them, that they want me to hire for them. Okay. But in the same scenario, I'm also interviewing them. I'm also asking them, why is it hard for you to keep people? Why is it hard for you to get these hires in the door and not have them stay for 2-3 years?
Right.
And so, and that sometimes comes down to me actually needing to help them with HR. And that's why we can help in that scenario too, as well. And
what's a common problem you're finding?
Just no documentation whatsoever, no step-by-step of anything. They're hired and then they start and that's it. There's no training in place. There's nothing in place for them to actually get to the place where they need to be, where that new hire needs to be. And once you put those steps in place, you'll end up keeping people longer. Just like if you were to add benefits or add a dental plan or anything like that, you'll keep people longer because you're actually providing for them too, as well. So it's a give and take kind of thing. You as an employer needs to provide for your employee, but then the employee also is providing something for you in return.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
I was just wondering from a culture standpoint, anything like that pop up? I'm a huge fan of culture creation and pay attention to how people do that.
Yeah.
Because the bad managers that we get throughout life teach us how not to do things. And you pay attention to different cultural aspects of places you've worked that were positive more negative, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's just, I find it fascinating.
Yes.
You know, because it probably deals with human psychology and.
Yeah. It has a lot to do with, psychology and what kind of, I met a great guy the other day. He actually owns several businesses too as well. And he likes to give everybody this test before, not necessarily before they come on, but he likes to see where their personalities are and what gives them drive. And I really like to, if an owner is into that specific model of hiring people, I like to kind of implement that too, because it gives the owner more of an in, knowing who they're hiring and what kind of person they are, what gives them drive. What can I do to provide that employee something else? Are they better off if I yell at them, or are they better off if I tell them you're great all the time?
Yeah. And
so that also is helpful. That's a good business owner right there, because he's actually trying to figure out who his people are and what drives them.
Because I mean, that's the aspect of being a manager, leader, owner is figuring out what the love language is.
Yeah.
What resonates with the employee. Because how many places have you seen where, I mean, recently I've had experience with this with a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's tyrannical. Utterly tyrannical.
Yeah.
Like her people their interactions, they roll their eyes. You know what I mean? It's, and it's like, you want to tell the person, well, why, it doesn't have to be this way.
No.
Why are you, this militaristic boot camp-esque way of dominating people? It's like very car business.
Yeah.
And again, another industry that doesn't need to be doing things the way they're doing them. It's like, dude, they can leave.
Well,
they can leave and go to the next dealership up the road. They don't need to stick around. They're not going to get an AWOL and be, called before Congress because they left. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no penalty to it. And all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot.
Yep. Every time.
Right.
And that business owner in itself will not make it. And I hate to say that. I mean, but
they do.
They do for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And then they'll end up selling or
to
something.
your point. Yeah. The same person I was telling you about my foray into the collision business. The man, I actually enjoyed working for him. And, we had our tense moments. And the day he pulled me in to let me go, no severance, no nothing. Just, knowing I had a family, mortgage payment, all the things. That's just not working out. Okay. And I found myself getting into a closing mode, like I did going into the car business. You had to learn how to close. Yeah. So I started peeling the onion. Okay. What's not working out? Be specific. You at least owe me that. Well, it's just not moving the needle. Oh, okay. That's on me. We never established what moves the needle and how much of the needle we need to move and where does it need to be at 3 months in. Yep. Well, I just don't see social media working for us. Oh, really? One of the biggest technological shifts in human history is not going to apply to the collision business. That's what you're saying. Yeah. I just don't see it. Okay. It's not me. It's not you. It's me. And he said that to me. I'm like, okay, we'll agree there. And I literally said that to him.
It's like y'all are breaking up.
Right. And I said, yeah, it is you. I said, I've done what I told you I would do. And I said, we just never agreed on what the metrics, the KPIs look like at the mile markers that we wanted to establish. Do we need to establish those? Yeah. Well, it's just, he was trying to figure out how to weasel. I'm like, dude, you're not weaseling out of this. Yeah. You're going to be held to account. You're I understand you're probably just going to cut me loose. Yeah. You're going to atone for your sin right now. What do we need to do? Are you paying me too much? We talked about replacing the agency that you're paying $10,000 a month to in commissions. And I could do everything that they're doing, placing buys. Did he get inside your head? Am I a threat to him? Is that what happened? Well, it's just, it's not you, it's me. Again, we agree. I said, Bobby, I really enjoyed working for you. I just probably revealed who he was. I really do. I just don't understand what the problem is here. And this is me kind of trying to figure out how we continue this. Because despite your flaws, I do like working for you.
Yeah.
How do we figure this out? It's just not figure out. Okay. Do we get any sort of severance or anything? I don't. Okay. All right then, dude. It's not been nice while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
And he died at 56.
Man.
And you probably have never heard, you probably heard of the business, but it's, the empire is just, poof,
Yep.
you know,
Blown up.
Yep.
Yep. That happens everywhere.
just a vapor in human memory.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jason Miller. I'm the owner of Christian Brothers Automotive here in Spring Hill, Tennessee. We fix cars here, both European and domestic, from simple oil changes to complete engine rebuilds and replacements. Most important thing, though, is while you're waiting, we've got the best snack game in town, and we invite you to make yourself at home and get to know us, and we treat you like family. We're located right across the street from Walmart on Highway 31 right here in Spring Hill. Let us know that you heard about us on this ad, and we'll give you 10% off your next oil change. So stop on in and see us in downtown Spring Hill. Do we even have a downtown in Spring Hill?
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, here's the other thing. Because I know that a lot of people are going to think, okay, that's not right. But if you are an owner like that, you have to find the right type of people that can take it. Because there's a lot of people out there that would not be able to. And they'll quit, within a couple weeks.
But the right kind of people that can take it, but don't be surprised when they're self-preserving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, there was a guy, he was telling me the story at the time, who apparently he caught sneaking paint nozzles and supplies back into the shop, I guess, after moonlighting over the weekend.
Yeah.
And Bobby went up to him and said, okay, do you want me to call the cops now or wait until after I fire you?
Yeah.
And I'm going, okay, that is a way to handle that. But my first question would be like, okay, what about your situation here made you feel you thought you could do this and put you in the situation that you felt you need to do this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are my first two questions. Okay, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, let's look in the mirror first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Never happened. So
Yeah, there's always a way to talk through things. I mean, communication is key when it comes to an employer and employee. I mean, I'm constantly telling employers all the time, you have to communicate. You have to communicate, because if they don't know, then they don't know. And you can't expect them to know it.
right.
And so I think that that's the most important thing.
I think a lot of employers don't accept the fact that in some small way, again, employers, leaders, managers, business owners,
Mm-hmm.
they're almost like a psychologist.
Yeah.
They have to serve that role.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, again, my wife and I had this conversation this morning. A lot of leaders, business owners don't see it as, they see it as top down. Well, you have to do what I tell you to because I'm paying you and you're here to make my life easier. Well, no, they're here to help you grow your business. You need to a certain extent, you need to serve them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of them don't, when they don't know how to delegate, when they don't know how to figure out how to give the person what they need to get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
They keep on piling more stuff onto them without other compensation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and then they wonder why. Well, why do they do this? Well, look in the mirror. Do you have conversations like that?
Yeah, you have to give them the right tools. Yeah. I'm constantly telling people that there will be business owners that come back to me and say, I don't understand why they're not, why they're doing it this way. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, okay, have you provided a handbook that shows that is the way the job needs to be done? Because if you haven't, then there's no point in even saying it over and over again. They may be one of those types of people that needs it in writing.
Right.
And so having a handbook in place, making sure that you have the right policies and procedures in place too as well is so important. And also communication. Bottom line.
Is it easier said than done?
Yes.
It's a habit that needs to be formed, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so utterly important.
I think a lot of people are, they love what they're doing. They create the job. They create the business. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're a new business owner. You love what you're doing. Okay. and you think that everybody's going to love it just as much as you do if you hire them. And that's not the case. They're not bought in like you are. And so you have to set the precedence of, hey, this is what I require out of you. I have this in writing. I'm also going to probably be telling it to you several different times. And you've just got to expect that as a business owner, that you're going to have to do those things in order to have a good team in place that will actually serve you and you serve them.
That's what Vaynerchuk says.
Who?
Gary Vee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He says, if you're anticipating your employees to have the same level of fervor and enthusiasm about your business that you do.
Yeah.
How come they don't take it as seriously as I do? Because they don't own the business.
Yeah.
And that's the reality, and if you go about, if that's your North Star in terms of attitude when it comes to running your business, good luck.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's going to be a tough run. There was a guy at a networking event I did, I was a part of in 2016. It was a Williamson Inc. thing. And it was the First Fridays, I think it was called. I don't know if they still do that anymore. But they would always have a speaker, and the speaker would take questions. And there was a guy behind me who was talking about his, like a website company. And he was just like, look, if they mess up or if they don't have this, or they're out. They're out. And, everybody in there knows what's at stake. And they see me coming in there and jettisoning these people because they dropped the ball and blah, blah, blah. And it really kind of keeps everybody whipped into shape. And I turned around and looked at the guy. I said, so you're really good at shooting yourself in the foot. Mm-hmm. And he was kind of stunned. I said, dude, that is the utterly most ridiculous way to treat your staff.
Terrible.
Right.
The most terrible way. And I'm constantly telling people, if we're going to have a conversation about, how we're not getting along, it's good to have a mediator first and foremost, which is good to always have an HR person there. Mm-hmm. And then also, sit down, have the conversation, make sure that you both can meet somewhere. And if not, I've always said, if you think that if you want to fire the person, the first time you think about it, that's when you need to do it.
That's an interesting topic. Mm-hmm. Firings.
Yes.
So you think they need to be that abrupt? If the person being fired is surprised, I think that's a problem.
Yes. I have a 3-step process to that too as well.
Right.
I like if an employee is doing something wrong, I like for them to have a verbal warning, then a letter, and then to be terminated. Mm-hmm. So I like that to be there. But if that business owner is in that spot, he needs to go ahead and put that in place right away to be able to have that 3 steps there. So that they do have that conversation, and then they do get written up, and then they are terminated eventually.
I got you.
But I didn't mean it that way. But The second you think about it, are you really going to hold on to that person that much longer if that's the case?
Yeah. That's a tough topic, because our way of doing that is sitting people down, and if they're not on the right path, hey,
this is how we can help you. Mm-hmm.
Let's work on this.
Yep.
This has become kind of an evident problem.
Well, and that's where that 3-step process comes in.
You understand that if we have to have this conversation again, it's not going to turn out so well.
Yeah.
Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of the way I go about it, even with my kids. Mm-hmm. Not that I fire my kids, but
I do the same with my kids too.
You think being a parent is helpful when it comes to leadership in business?
Yes. Very much.
Can you tell the people that don't have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a little bit more alongside the, and I hate to put it this way.
Just say it.
A little bit selfish.
Well, only child syndrome, maybe. Right?
Yes. Yes.
What was the most direct thing you've ever to say to a business owner? Like they just completely got under your skin.
Well, I have to say they like it when I'm direct with them.
Right.
They like when I tell them what the truth is.
Right.
And that's my job. That's my job, to be very honest, upfront, and let them know where they're failing. And so, I do it on a weekly basis. So, I'm constantly telling people, have you had the conversation? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Have you put this in place for them to be able to see that that's what needs to happen, but.
Are you kind of like you consider yourself to be like a fractional HR rep in a way?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. And we have that service available for people.
Right. Oh, I would imagine that's probably a good leg of the business to pursue, especially from a consultation aspect. Somebody on the outside of the business that could see the label, the bottle the business owner's in, and then being able to act accordingly. Of like, because all of us are like, okay, how do I handle this? Is it the right way?
Yeah.
Never had to do this before. I mean, having employees for me right now is still a fairly new concept, but I just had a conversation with Jonah, my guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of my job with him, what we do is just, hey, how's life? How you doing? Everything good? And he's like, he told me this morning, he's like, you always seem to really kind of dig in when I've had an evening or a day the previous day that was really challenging. I said, yeah, because I could experience, man. It's just, I just know, it's an intuition. And I hopefully me asking lets you know that I give a damn.
Yeah. Yeah. The older you get, the more you realize, okay, this is something that I went through, and I can tell it on their faces. Yeah. So I can see, if somebody had a really bad day with sales yesterday, and they'll come in the door and you can see it all over their face. And I'm just like, hey, let's sit down and chat for a minute, Well, there's some business owners out there, and I remember having a little bit of this attitude when we were at a previous company that had a lot of tradesmen, not really fully licensed, a lot of journeyman apprentices, things of that nature. In that field, there's a lot of problematic habits. Yes.
Certain kinds of people that are attracted to that field, maybe because that's all they can do. Society told them one thing: you got to go to college. If you don't go to college, you're not going to be successful. So they feel relegated to do a trade. And there's a certain kind of stereotype that goes along with it. Yeah. My attitude was, look, your problems should not be my problems. Yeah. Is that, it's like, there's still a certain aspect of that I agree with, meaning don't make me look like an AH. Don't make my life any harder than it already is and cause problems that I got to deal with in my own business. And just don't make me look bad. I mean, they're pretty easy things to do. Yeah. But still you find people that will do that. And again, hiring process is a big part of the issue. Yeah. But I was kind of cold-hearted. I was like, your problems are not my problems. Don't make them my problem. Yeah. I'm willing to talk to you and help you through it. Yeah. But we're going to have some crossed wires. Once that happens. It's hard to deal with that. And I'm constantly telling people, if you have a problem with that, it's best to maybe do random drug screens and things like that, right. Because that would always be helpful in that kind of environment if that was the case. Are you seeing a lot more trades stepping up to the plate? So I work with mainly blue collar. Okay. And so it is very, they need the most help right now. They have the most work here. Tennessee is big with, growing and everything else. And so those guys, and they have no idea how to do anything HR related. So they do need the most help. And so, and I love helping them. I come from that background. My dad, had me up and framing houses when, I was little. And so I think that it's where my heart is for that type of group of people. I'm a firm believer that if your plan is not college, that you definitely should pick a trade. Right. Because I think that is a good way to go. It's a good way to make money. It's a good way not to be in debt. That's been where my heart is mainly in the trades. It's a good place to be because I think it's going to blow up. Yeah. The talent pool is going to increase. Yeah. I believe over the next half decade. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
AI is taking over a lot of other things,
The white collar jobs.
but it won't take over that.
Well,
It may eventually.
Never say never.
I hope it doesn't, because
There's a lot of stuff that has to happen. Societal shift, cultural shift, when you start allowing robots in your house to do the work that a human used to do.
I hope
It's
it doesn't.
on its way. It will happen.
I don't want it to happen during my lifetime.
I agree.
Or my child's lifetime.
I don't know if we're going to get that far.
I hope not.
No, I mean, I don't know if we're long for this world. A whole other topic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk that out.
That's more of a spiritual faith thing that some thoughts and ideas I have. I don't know if we're going to see that in any lifetime, possibly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it's possible. It's feasible.
Yeah.
That it's, once upon a time, getting in cars with strangers was a bad thing.
Yeah.
Now we do it all the time. So
yeah, we just hop in an Uber.
that's what I mean.
I love how those cars are getting stuck in the water.
The Wagos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just is
Is it
hilarious.
Wego or Wago?
There's two different ones.
Yeah.
There is one that's Wego and there's one that's Wago. I think Wago is something else.
They're the most distracting damn cars to see on the road.
I know.
Because as soon as you see all the crap that's on them,
I know.
and what's the deal with the little spinny thing in the back?
It helps to figure out what's around it, I think.
I guess.
But clearly it doesn't know where water is.
Right. Or where your traffic cones are.
Yeah. Which is great. I love watching it on the news, trying to figure out what they're doing next. And I have a heart in that area because, of all the bus drivers that I, dealt with over time. And I thought that, we would never get to that point, but here we are driving with nobody in the driver's seat.
If you could wave a magic wand and do whatever you wanted, money's not an issue, everything's taken care of, all your needs are taken care of, what would be the one thing you'd always want to do? Like, whatever it may, I don't care if it's, making baskets,
So,
wave a magic wand, what would it be?
I have a minor in art.
No.
And so I've always drawn.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then I'll pick up a pencil and just draw, and that's the one thing that I love to do.
Today I saw one of our guys mowing the lawn out there.
Yeah.
I remember the scene in Forrest Gump where he's got all the things worked out and he's got all the money in the world. Everything's taken care of. And he's kind of occupies his time mowing the lawn at the high school.
Yeah. Because he likes doing it.
Dude, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Until I didn't.
Uh-huh.
And then, I see my guy out here mowing the lawn. We mow this lawn and then we mow the property next to us. And I'm like, dude, I'm so envious of you right now. He's like, yeah, because I get to just kind of check out. And I'm like, totally. And just mow the lawn.
He doesn't have to think, really.
Right? But the funny thing is, when you mow the lawn, you do your most amount of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever find that?
It's true. I keep a notepad next to me in the truck.
Do you?
I'm driving so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I drive, from College Grove to Columbia to Nashville all the time.
Yeah.
I seem to stay on 65 somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I keep a notebook in the car while I'm driving. And if I think of something, I write it down.
Like the most appealing thing to me is driving. Like even being a school bus driver at first seems like I could totally do that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if I'd love it after 6 months, but a tour bus driver for some of these bands going around, I could totally see myself doing that.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I want to buy an RV and go see the country with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
But mowing lawns.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
love
I'm
that
50
for
years
you.
old. My son is working. I said, I might need you to help out with the lawn every now and then. I said, but when he was doing it on a regular basis, I'm like, I kind of miss it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Jonathan likes to do ours too.
Yeah.
Yeah. He enjoys that.
What does that mean for our kids though? It's like, those chores that when you're a kid, you don't like doing it. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Hank doesn't like doing it, but he does it anyway.
Does he?
I mean, we make him do it.
You got a big piece of property though.
Yeah. So yeah, Jonathan has a zero turn. He mainly makes Hank weed eat.
Yeah, weed eating I don't enjoy.
Mm-hmm. But he Hank also did a couple lawns the other day with a push mower.
So does he actually put himself out there and make money doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's He's my salesman.
Really?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He will talk to anybody. 16.
Oh.
So I told him to go out. School ended. He was going out with his friends too much. I told him, I said, you need to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
And he went out there and opened some doors, knocked on some doors, and got a couple yards to do. And then he was like, I think I want to do something else. So then he called up his Uncle Derek, and now he's helping him with a couple camps at the middle school.
Really? Nice.
And then and then he's just doing just random stuff all summer long. Like I probably won't see him all summer just because he's going to be making extra money to get parts for his truck. I told him that he has to make the money to buy them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
It'll train him early.
Mm-hmm.
It's like our new member, Josh O'Brien.
Yeah. I love him.
19 years old.
Mm-hmm. Selling life insurance. Yep.
He's been entrepreneurial since he's 13, 14 years old.
Yeah. Yep. He's a cool kid.
Yeah.
I adore him. It kind of reminds me of myself in a way, but
I was a late bloomer. I didn't realize my father was an entrepreneur, always kind of wrote his own ticket. But he, I think he tried to instill it in us, but also was of the generation that I want you to go to college.
Mm-hmm. It's
security. It gives you an edge, so on and so forth. All the stuff they believe that eventually became untrue. I didn't realize my entrepreneurial nature until I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah.
I always knew I had it. Like, I had a guy I was in a band with who I had a job, after-school job that I had for 4 years. And at the time I made it to this band. We'd be at band practice, and I would always have to watch the clock because I got to get back. I got to get to work at 3 or 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And he was always just like, he was a maverick in a way. He always had like the skeleton of a car under a tarp in his parents' driveway. Granted, his parents were okay with it, but it was a big yard, so nobody really cared. And he was always selling Camaro parts.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, we'd be having band practice. We'd hear a knock at the door. He'd be like, all right, you a-holes. I'm going to go be back and deal with this jackass freaking who wants to buy the alternator off this Camaro.
Yeah.
And he'd go out there, and 5 minutes later, he'd have, several $100 in his hand and be like, all right, where were we?
Uh-huh.
That's how he made his money.
And
I'm like, dude, what is the deal with that? He's like, oh, dude, I freaking buy these Camaros for $1,500. I'll probably make 10 grand off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Yeah.
And it's like he put ads in the Penny Saver. That's, a literal paper publication.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. I learned about somebody the other day that maybe it was you and I that were talking about it. But there's this guy that does this compost business. And like YoPlay and like all these different places will pay him to come and pick up their scraps. And then he sells it. So they pay him, and then he sells it to all these different farms and things like that to use the compost.
So basically the byproduct.
Payment on both ends.
Wow. So they're paying him to pick it up, the byproduct of the production of the yogurt.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sells it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And who would have thought of that?
That's the thing that drives me nuts is that, like, we're living in a society where literally the opportunity is just around you. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Again, easier said than done. But we've been so indoctrinated and taught over the years that, got to get a job, we got to do this and blah, blah, blah. Now, the entrepreneur, like that pendulum has kind of shifted. You're seeing a lot more of the younger people coming up who are buying into these gurus online, these hucksters, if you will, that are just giving bad information.
Yeah.
Well, you can just be like me. If you follow my way and buy my course, you could be rich overnight, just like I did. And look at all the watches and girls and
read the
cash.
books. Yeah.
Right. There's that aspect of it. Action equal opposite reaction kind of happening in society where they're showing, everybody wants to give a piece of their mind and have an opinion, podcasting. And nobody's, they're not getting the fact that like you could pick out the phoniness like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In a second. And that is something that I enjoy watching TikToks just because I like to tell if they're like a real thing or not. Like if it's AI or if it's, just a fake promotion of something.
So in other words, you're using TikTok to kind of sharpen your own iron.
Yes.
In terms of your assessment of individuals, and if you could pick up on all the BS, is it triggering my BS meter?
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
When you're interviewing people, business owners and employees alike.
Yeah, because my husband would have told you 20 years ago I was the most gullible person ever.
Really?
I believed whatever he said, and I think that it was just the way I was raised. And so I thought everything that everybody said was always right. Or
you said a unshakable faith in everyone.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I trusted everyone.
Oh gosh.
And so that was the other.
How many times did you get burned?
Not very many, because he kind of protected me from all of it. Okay. But then over time, I guess he kind of toughened me up in a way.
Well, I don't know if it's toughening. It's discernment.
Yeah. Yeah. So he would say, Ashley, you can't believe what that guy says, that guy's a creep, what is wrong with you?
You're not picking up on this? You're a woman, for crying out loud.
So yeah, it really took me a long time to get to the point of, 20 years now, of me basically educating myself on the daily about people's personalities, what drives people, what are they thinking about, what is their next step in whatever they're doing, right. And I've really studied it over the last 20 years, just because I think that is something that I really enjoy doing.
I think it could really help you if you start talking about this kind of stuff more and more. Are there people in your space that are trying to be the gurus? Talking about HR, talking about hiring.
Yeah.
Different policies and hire. Is there anybody doing that, talking about it? I think there are. Like, you probably see some of these freaking yahoos on LinkedIn that are trying to become influencers or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on TikTok and Instagram that you found that's doing something?
I have. Yeah. Yeah. And I like what they have to say. Yeah. A lot of people have similar things to what I do. I mean, I guess what I've learned is that, there's these two hilarious guys that do this like HR thing online, which is hilarious. They like do dances and make jokes about HR, which you should watch it at some point in time. But all of us, even my business, I want it to have a presence online.
Oh yeah.
Just because I want it to help people in some sort of way.
It's not your business, it's you.
Yeah.
It's got to be you. You got to be the face.
Yeah.
And as thought popping into my head, is there a plan in place for you to start putting out content? It's almost like you ever see the Veronica videos, the cartoons?
Yeah. The goofy girl that is real skinny with the glasses.
Well, and it's a cartoon, and basically they're going through scenarios at work, in the workplace, and it's to elicit a desirable engagement from other employee-minded people.
Oh, okay.
And it's always employee versus the employer. Well, hey, why aren't you in work today? This is one scenario. Well, because I'm on PTO. I'm taking a bit. We didn't approve that.
I turned my time in already 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And no, we didn't. That kind of, then the back and forth happens, and everybody in the comments, I had a manager like that, and they always tried to cover their own ass, and eventually they got found. All that kind of stuff. I'm wondering if you could do reaction videos to that.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I most definitely could. I wonder if somebody's already doing that though.
Who cares? It's not you.
Okay.
It's not you. That's the thing is, I don't care if anybody, how many millions of podcasts are out there. It's not you.
Oh,
it's not, who cares?
Yeah.
If somebody resonates with how you do things, I believe that creativity begets more creativity. When you're doing stuff like that, I think you're going to get a lot more ideas to take it in a different direction and make your own voice. But at some point you got to start doing stuff. And if it turns into something, why not?
Then yay. Yeah.
And it might, as long as it's easy, productive, it helps you get your influence out there and share your expertise as a thought leader. especially in this area, this space that is, especially if you niched it in the blue collar spaces, simply even talking about on a podcast episode why the talent pool in the trades is limited or seemingly limited to a certain kind of person.
Yeah.
And how do we turn that ship around?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with what's coming.
Yeah.
So we should really offline talk about this.
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden I'm like, my spidey sense is tingling. How do we have, you also have an affiliate program. So anybody who's listening can help you out.
Yeah.
Is there a link on the website they can find out more about it?
I do not have a link up on my website, but with the affiliate program, we do offer a monthly residual if you refer somebody over to us. So, and I will put a link on the website now that Jim has said something.
We should. You got a couple of weeks before this comes out to make it happen.
Okay,
so
good.
At least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Website. Where can people find you?
www.4pointpeople.com, and it's FOUR.
That'd be Foru.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
We misspeak sometimes. It's all right.
I can't even spell today. It's not the number 4. It's the word 4.
And is everything else social media connected on that site too?
Yes. Okay, yep. Good. So LinkedIn, everything else is 4 Point People.
Yeah. LinkedIn especially should be on there every day doing something.
Yep.
All right. As always, the details, all the different links will be in the description, as promised. And if you got any sort of value out of this, want to share it with anybody, go to mmtbp.com, mmtbp.com. A whole bunch of other things there. You can find the video episodes, the audio episodes. Share them out. Really do appreciate it. Man, what a great conversation. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for having me, Jim. Jim's great, everybody.
Thank you. You have a good weekend.
All right. Thank you. You too.